rejection from other writers that doesn't like the way you write. Or it might even be rejection from readers. Like sometimes you will get a really, really bad review it feels like such a rejection. Like the reader didn't understand what you were trying to accomplish with your book. And here's the thing, it's super duper duper hard. And that is why you need to have some sort of tools and a toolkit to get ready to, so that you can survive it. And how do you get through this rough patch that the rejection has caused? I mean, for me, a personal experience when it comes to this was when I had written like one of the projects that I've been working on longest, more than 10 years. Nowadays it's called The Forbidden Circle. It's a fantasy series that I'm working on. But I sent that book to a few publishers a few years back and it got rejected. The thing is, one of the publishers wrote back to me and told me why it got rejection and stuff like that. And that helped me realize that I hadn't thought the manuscript through. It was super hard to get this realization that I needed to start over with the entire project. So I actually ended up throwing I have written, I think, the drafts for book 1 and 2. So I threw all of it away, just, saved. Of course, I still saved it, but I decided to completely start from scratch, because it's a series that I've been working on for so long that I know the world by heart. I love the characters and I know that there's a story in there. But getting the rejection made me realize that I hadn't written it in a way that was compelling enough. I hadn't gotten through the way I wanted to. So I threw it all away and started from scratch and rewrote everything. I planned it out much more carefully, made sure that my characters had depth and stuff like that I was missing in the first run. But it was tough, getting over that hump and that rejection was really, really hard for me, because this series is a little bit of a darling for me, to be honest. So, yeah, and to be continued with that story, I'm going to talk a lot more about the Forbidden Circle project 2025. So, yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. But that rejection was so, so hard. But when you get rejected, what tools do I recommend that you use to get through it? Well, one tool that really, really helped me go through multiple rough patches actually is journaling. I love writing in my journal every morning. I only write like 1 page, but that helps me clear my mind. It helps me focus. It also helps me see if there is something bothering me, because then I'll probably repeat it like day after day after day. So I love journaling, and that is a practice that Julia Cameron talks a lot about in The Artist's Way. So if you haven't read the book The Artist's Way, I definitely recommend it, because that helped me get out of a big creative block. But journaling is amazing for just getting through rough patches. Also, talking to friends or talking to other people in the writing community has really, really helped me when I've been feeling down, because we're all on this unique journey, but a lot of things that we will face, other people has already gone through, and it can be quite encouraging to hear how they actually managed to get through it, or just to hear that, it will get better with time. So friends or the writing community is also a great tool to have when you feel like you need them. And also, make sure to be there for other people that are going through rough patches. That is so important too, to give back to the community. Having some sort of mindfulness practice can also really, really help, especially if, on top of rejection, maybe you have put a lot of pressure on yourself, or maybe you feel stressed or something. I personally experienced this. I was almost burned out from work. It was an awful time, and I didn't know what to do. I hadn't found my writing routine either back then, so there were a lot of things working against me. So I decided to take up meditation to just start counteracting all the stress my body was feeling. And at the beginning, not that much happened, but after a few weeks, things started to happen. I started to get back some energy, some momentum, and with seeing how much it helped for me, I actually started meditating longer and longer. So in the beginning, I only meditated for a few minutes. Now I meditate every day for at least 15 minutes. And I love it. Such a blessing to have that for all kinds of reasons, to be honest. And also another thing that really, really can be useful is to, go out, take a long walk with no music in your ear or, no distractions, and just let your mind be. In this day and age, we rarely ever let our brains rest. And I think that can also cause more negative feelings inside us, because we keep also bombarding ourselves with dopamine hits and stuff like that. And if you feel rejected, then you shouldn't go into Instagram and look at all the other successful people. Instead, you should maybe take a step back and try to find the joy in anything, to be honest. So going on long walks without headphones in, just letting your brain work everything out, that can really, really help. And all of these are great tools when it comes to, getting back on your feet emotionally. But what about your writing? How can you improve your writing if you've gotten rejected? Because here's the thing, you probably need to improve your writing too. This is one of the reasons why I love writing, because I will never be fully taught. There's always more to learn. There's always ways to improve. And that for me is a big inspiration and big motivation. And maybe it's not for you, but if you have gotten rejected with your writing, then there's room for improvement. And yes, there's always room for improvement. But now that you have some tools for the emotional stuff, it's time to get some tools for, the practical stuff, which is writing. And here's the thing, writing is what makes you a writer. It's not how many books you've published. It's not if you go viral on TikTok. It's not how many books you sell. It's the writing in itself. So that's also why you should try to find a writing routine that fits within your life. Because writing continuously, once a month, once a week, once a day, that will also, in the long run, it will help you feel more like a writer again. And you might even be able to battle some of the rejection with your writing. And one thing that you should remember is that even some of the most popular writers of our time, they also got rejected. J.K. Rowling got rejected, 12 times? Brandon Sanderson wrote 13 books before he published his first one. Getting rejected is not something that you only face. It's what most people will face at some point in their life, and you need to get through it. So here are a few things that I recommend that you try. Pick and choose from this list. It's quite a long list, but here are some of the things that I've tried and that worked wonders for me. So the first one is to try and switch writing medium. If you usually write on your computer, maybe it's time to try to write like Neil Gaiman. I actually tried his writing routine, and I will link it in the description box. But he writes his first draft by hand, and he makes sure that he has no distractions and stuff like that. This is very, very different from the way I write. So trying his writing routine was actually quite hard for me. But when I don't know, what to write or how to write, switching mediums for me is great, because then it's like a fresh start and my brain doesn't even know it's writing anymore. And the second tip is to try and use writing prompts. I love writing prompts whenever I feel stuck, whenever I feel uninspired, because, then I have a way to move forward. Whether or not I choose to use it in my manuscript or not doesn't really matter. The point with a writing prompt is just to spark your imagination and your inspiration and just go. There are millions kinds of writing prompts online, so choose anyone that works for you. And another thing you can do is to try free writing. I don't know if you've heard about free writing. I learned about the concept from Natalie Forslind. She says that you should just sit down and write. Doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be anything. Just set a timer for 10 minutes and write whatever comes out. Doesn't matter. If you don't know what to write, just write. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. There is this writing community and writing thingy that I sometimes attend online. And one of the first prompts that we always do is free writing, just because it's such a great way. It's like warming up before doing a workout. it's such a great way just to get started, just to get your writing juices going. Another thing that you can try and do is to try to change your environment. Just sitting in a new place or stuff like that can also be good for getting back into writing routine. You can try to write a letter to one of your characters if you feel stuck. This is also a great way to get to know them. Or you can read something inspirational. Like reading is, at least for me, that's what got me into writing. I love reading books. So if I feel stuck and if I feel uninspired or if I need to start over, sometimes that is what I'll do. I'll read something that I know I love, a comfort read, and just feel inspired. And then after that, like I told you about the Forbidden Circle project, like when I hit the real bump on that one, I needed to start over from scratch. I went back to basic, did a new outline, did everything from scratch. And you know what? It turned out great. And like, if you just feel like you can't write at the moment, if that is not something you want to do now, you need to take a break from writing, then try another creative hobby. It's a perfect opportunity to, take up knitting or create music or something like that. And all in all, I think that when you're starting over and when you need to, try to survive rejection, one thing that you should try to do is to actually embrace imperfection. Nothing will ever be perfect. And you need to accept that and try to be nice to yourself. And one thing that you can do also to start rebuilding your confidence again is to celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the fact that you actually wrote in your journal today, or celebrate the fact that you reached 500 words in a week. Everything counts, and this is you building up your confidence again, you getting back on track again. It is hard, yes, but you can do it. Try to think about why you started writing in the first place. And yeah, those are my advice on how you can survive starting over and don't let rejection beat you down. My name is Natalie. I'm here to try to inspire you to accelerate your writing and become better one story at a time. And I hope that this was inspiring and motivating. Remember that you're not alone. Please leave a comment if you need some boosts, love bombing. I believe in you and I want to read your story. So keep on going. Someone out there needs to hear your story. So keep going. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. It really, really helps the algorithm and it helps me as a creator. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.